So I'm traveling a little bit, spending some time in the desert with some friends and doing some practice and some reading and just, you know, enjoying the season, as it were. And this morning I found in this book, Life is Eternal Newness by Ili Chiaro. I've shared some stuff from it before, but there's this wonderful kind of all-encompassing poem that he writes about ego that really lays out the whole task of what is being accomplished through the different paths of spirituality, and does it in a very clean and very well worded way. So I'm going to read it to you, and I'll share some things that it brought to mind for me, just for fun as I do that. The all-encompassing perception and the ego. Life must be approached through a direct contact. The whole being is wide open, neither past nor future. Absolute simplicity is the path. And see, in this paragraph here, he's really bringing to light the fact that it's your past and your ideas of future that are clouding your clarity in the moment. This idea of being, having life approached through direct contact means see the moment without any effect, without the past defining it, without your desires causing a future, without any analysis of it. Just see the moment purely, without any of those boundaries involved. Just listen and watch, he says, with a total attention. And again, driving that point home. Don't let your attention be divided into thoughts and to memories and to opinions and analysis. Just in silence, be a watcher. That's all. Don't engage the mind. See yourself behind the mind, looking through it. Just listen and watch with total attention. Thoughts, images, desires, the illusions of the ideal mind, the automatic movement of thought created by time as a possessive, arrogant ego. Observe all of this happening in the moment. Everything we encounter, an all-encompassing perception, immediately disappears. It vanishes completely without resorting to will, force, or imagination, a natural consequence of spontaneous action. So this is that notion of just so much of trouble stops when the mind or just empty thought stops. And when you come into this moment and realize that you're free, that you're not defined by a past, you're not trapped by a future, that in this moment you're full, infinite potential, and that you're able to be free, to manifest what you are from the inside out, instead of living in a world where you're constantly reacting from the outside in. The all-encompassing observation of the reactions of the mind effortlessly ends any movement of the ego. The state of psychological void ensues. This inner peace and stillness as a complete whole becomes obvious to you. But when thought stops breaking things into pieces, and when the senses are just allowed to take the moment as it is, and you as the observer can see it all and see how it triggers thoughts and how senses bring up memory, and memory creates desire, and desire causes the future, and round you go on this wheel of repeating patterns in your behaviors. All of that ceases. This fake ego disappears, and you're able to see things without being provoked by them, just viewing them as they are. In that moment of emptiness, expanding, boundless, we have a new mind and a different way of thinking. New brain cells start to function. We are united with all that life brings. The Buddhists have that practice of non-resistance. We just open to the moment. Whatever is coming our way, we observe it and we see it, and we respond from the inside, not reacting or pushing against it. The ego, based on what is old and outdated, because the ego is built entirely from your past, entirely from your memories. The ego, based on what is old and outdated, is suddenly eliminated. In the new dimension, the past disappears, all the misguided conditioning. Free from the past, psychologically, we are freshness, encompassing the freshness of life, a perfect comprehension. The whole secret of happiness lies in this direct contact, integrated into the present as a whole being. So just take some time, have some fun unpacking that. Think about it. Learn to view your inner world. Learn to see how your mind works in conjunction with your senses and with your body. See how the body talks to the mind responds to that. And you, as the observer, you get yourself into trouble when you identify yourself with either one, when you forget your freedom, when you forget your independence, when you forget your limitless potential as a divine self, someone whose nature is pure love, someone whose nature is wisdom, someone who is in the profundity of being.
Let me see.